Realizing and living my utmost potential. At Desteni, we focus on kind of a self-creation process in which you are basically rebirthing yourself, reparenting yourself, so that you can live more freely without limitations. Express yourself in the moment as who you really are, as a physical being instead of a mind being based on the past. And we do this by taking the Desteni I Process course. There's also a free introductory online course called VIP Lite, and I'll include the links to both those below. As well, I assist to support myself by listening to interviews from Equop, and I will include the link for that as well. So how do I realize and live my utmost potential? It sounds like a tall order, and indeed it is. I'm going to share a few ways that I am doing this, and it is a process, and I'm going to share a few ways that I can see how I am growing, expanding, changing without the limitations that I would usually carry with me. First area would be in my behavior towards others. I can definitely see how I am reacting less to others. Of course, there are people in my daily environment, but I can definitely see lately, and there's been changes there, but I can definitely see lately how it's changing my behavior towards others, say out and about in my neighborhood, maybe people I don't know, is changing. You know how if there's a small altercation and someone's angry at you, and they snap at you and you snap at them, you don't even know each other, and it can be very upsetting. And I can see that with people in my neighborhood, or someone is a store clerk or in the bank, whatever, I am reacting less. I am not necessarily catching it the very moment it happens. I'm not saying there is no reaction, but I am able to slow myself down and not continue with the reaction. See the reaction, check myself, stop, breathe, and slow it down so that I don't say something I regret. I'm able to remind myself in the moment, you know, this person doesn't know you, and you don't know them. You don't need to take it personally. I'm able to slow myself down enough that I can say, you know, wait a minute, you say, Sandy, you're blaming this person, going into blame and anger and wanting to lash out. And you don't know this person, you don't know what they've experienced, how they've experienced themselves in their life, what they've had to walk through. And stop the blame and try and go to understanding. Instead, I'm able to walk away and not say anything, instead of snapping back and saying something nasty to another. I also am living my utmost potential more in a process in the area of my children, in the area of worrying less about my children, to do with, say, their safety and health. So when I see myself starting to go into thinking patterns, imaginings in my mind, pictures in my mind, about, say, driving late at night, they're driving, or drinking and driving. I'm not saying they drink and drive. You worry about it. Or their health, waiting for test results for my daughter. I have been able to stop that, see myself, be aware in the moment, and say, no, I'm not participating. I realize it only harms me. It harms my physical body, brings up emotions that lead to changes in my body, anxiety, which is harmful, and also remind myself it is useless. I am not changing anything. What is. And what is reality right now, they're both fine, and leave it. That doesn't mean I care about my children less, and I had to look at that because I started feeling like, oh, if I'm not worrying about them, then I don't love them. It means I don't care about them, and I do. I have to think about them. So I had to check that and go, no, that's not true. I know myself. I know how I feel about them. And the third area I've seen is within songwriting, a hobby I have, which I enjoy, which I've been taking up again as I purchased a electric piano recently, and I am able to sit down at the piano and create more in the moment. So taking off those chains from the past and no longer limiting myself, defining myself from a starting point of the past, of what I've lived in the past and how I have expressed myself through songwriting. So no longer do I accept and allow myself to start going into thinking patterns, thoughts like I'm not good enough, comparing myself to others, and then going into inferiority. All these things are self-sabotaging, and of course they affect the creation process. Of course they do. And with doing this, I do notice that I am creating and playing and singing more physically, which is more enjoyable, and it completely changes the outcome, the creation, the art. And it is more enjoyable, and I feel more free. I feel like I'm growing in that area, and it's changing the art. So please investigate Desteni and the Desteni I Process Life course so you can start your journey to self-awareness and realizing and living your utmost potential. Thank you.